At some point, you will be offended by something said on this show. But playing devil's advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of the host or of the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly even ourselves. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and for the next 120 minutes, we are going to edutain you. That means for the next 2 hours, you are going to be educated and entertained. I don't know what the emphasis is going to be on tonight, but you're going to have a good time. I have to do some light housekeeping before we get into the show, so let me take care of that. We are here each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. to you guys on the East Coast. And if you happen to miss the live broadcast of the show, you can always go to the iTunes store and type in our name, Playing Devil's Advocate, and you can subscribe to our podcast free of charge. And while you're there in the iTunes store, if you type in my name, KiKi Richardson, you can download yourself a copy of my book, The Other Woman Code of Conduct, What Every Other Woman Should Know, and Men Too. See that poster? That's it right there. You can get it. It's not free, but it's well worth the $9.99. But if you don't have access to the iTunes store, you can always go to KiKiRichardson.com, and there you'll be able to listen to any of the archive shows. You will be able to download copies of my book, well, purchase a copy of my book, any of that good stuff right there. Find out about the cast, any of our guests right there on KiKiRichardson.com. Throughout the show, we will be tweeting in real time. So if you're not following us, you might want to at KiKi, at PDA_Miss KiKi. That's PDA_MSKIKI. That way you can tweet along with us and our guests and just have a lot of fun with us. If you are in our chat room and you are a guest, please create a username and ID. You can do that by simply logging into your Facebook and you'll join the conversation. If you don't realize you're there, scroll on down to the bottom of the page. You'll see the chat room, and you'll be able to carry along with the conversation. And finally, well, almost finally, you can also post your comments on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate, and we'll get your comment on air as well. If you want to call in, you can do that by calling 347-237-5271. We don't care what your name is. We just want to hear about what you have to say before I bring in my cast that's going to be hanging out with me tonight. I'm so excited. One of my favorite people are here. Before we do that, I need to go ahead and also send a happy birthday shout out to two very, very beautiful young girls, young ladies, I should say. Happy birthday to Aria, my niece. She turned 17 today. When did I get old enough to have a 17-year-old niece? What part of the game is that? And also to my other niece, Janelle, your birthday is tomorrow, and she's going to be a teenager, y'all. She's turning 13 tomorrow, so Lord help us all. So big happy birthdays go out to you guys, and I just need to bring in my crew because I got to get this going. This has been going since I posted what the show is going to be about, and I can't hold out anymore. I just can't. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you love her, sometimes you might even hate her, but she is a fallen angel, and she fell from grace for coining phrases like lube is for amateurs. I can't make this stuff up if I wanted to. She hails from my hometown, the Windy City, and she has some fly intro music. I wonder how she managed to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Miss Sporty, Spunky, Asia. What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, girl, I was just catching up on some light reading. How are you today?
I love that book. Wherever did you get it?
Oh, my girl, she wrote it. It's one of the best ever. Get the book. The Other Woman Code of Conduct is off the chain. Yeah. Okay.
Love a shameless plug. Love a shameless plug. Look, let me tell y'all.
What?
I posted that we were going to do this show about, can men and women be friends? Because this has been a highly debated topic just in general. But when I posted it, you know what happened on my Facebook wall.
I was privy to that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, you were there. You saw what went down on my Facebook wall. It went kind of ape shit, and it kind of spilled over into Twitter and all that other stuff. And then I said, I made the mistake. I don't know. I don't know what it was, of letting everybody know that this next young man was going to be on the show with us. And I got flooded with inboxes, right? And, you know, it's a bunch of women in this world that I just don't really understand, but I got emails and inboxes saying, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, y'all just friends. I ain't buying it. It's not possible, you know. So one of the first things, I got a really good question I want to, man, I want to ask once we get this young
I can't wait till you get him on the phone, because I'm going to tell you what's in my inbox when both of y'all all get together.
Oh, shit. Shit. Do I even want to know? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. What'd you say?
I said, you want to know this, and he does.
Oh, Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show my friend. I would give you all his accolades. He's an 8-year veteran of the NFL. He went to the Super Bowl 2 times. He was the host of BET Mad Sports. He is my good friend, a proud father. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Anthony Dorsett Jr.
Yeah. What's going on, KiKi? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good. I don't know what Sporty has to say, but let me say this first. This is, like I said, this has been a hotly debated topic on whether men and women can be platonic friends. And like I said, I got a bunch of inboxes, people saying, yeah, KiKi, I'm not buying it, all that good stuff. And tonight we're going to talk about, is it possible? Under what situations is it possible? What lines shouldn't you cross? What lines are safe to cross? A whole bunch of other stuff as it pertains to males and females being friends. But I will say this to you, Anthony. I got an email in my inbox, and basically the person said, I'm not buying it. There's no way possible that two good-looking people, if they're single, could be friends, and they're male and female. And I said, that's bull. But you tell me what you think.
Man, well, first of all, that's really not a true statement. You know, there are guys and girls of all ages, and it starts. I think it actually starts pretty early. You know, one guy always finds out he has a homegirl, that girl that he ain't gonna fool with. You know what I'm saying? That actually has his back in a lot of ways. But you know, it's just a girl that happens to be your friend. I know this for a fact that it goes on. I mean, that it can actually happen. I got my first real home girl that I remember, actually, she still lives in Atlanta now. Her name is Niobe Rose. All right, we went to like middle school together. She was a cute girl, still is cute girl, but she was like tomboyish, and so that was like one of the things that brought her into being able to hang out with the guys and everything else like that as well. But I think that, you know, most people, I've heard two sides of the story. All right, so one thing that my mother told me years ago was that when you have a male and a female, as a woman, if a woman chooses a man to be her best friend, in some ways that man has attributes that she would want to have, that woman would want to have in her man as well. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing vice versa for guys a lot of times. You know, you try to find that girl who could be, like Beyonce says in that song, I want to be every girl for you. You know, so you want to find that chick who could be your home girl, you know, who could sit around and talk about girls with you to help you get schooled on girls. You know, kind of like how you have to do me sometimes, KiKi. You know, so I mean, we're living examples of that. You know what I mean? And you know, it definitely goes on.
You know what I find interesting? This is just a sidebar. I don't know if you know this about when the first time I met your mama.
Mama?
Yeah, she said to me, I think it was at that picnic or whatever, some 4th of July picnic out in LA. She said,
oh yeah.
She said, "You not from here, are you?" I was like, "No, ma'am." She was like, "Turn around." I was like, "What?" I turned around and she said, He is his father's child. That's exactly what she said. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. But I think your cousins was standing by. They was like,
Yeah. Hey, yeah. You know, the thing about, my mother's actually, she's been in town since 2 weeks before my son was born. So she's here now. She just walked through the room a second ago because she was on the phone too as well. But yeah, that's, I come from a family of, like, I guess you would say curvaceous women. And so for me, I've never really been into slim chicks. I've always been into legs and butt. And so my mom has pretty much always known what I've liked. So of course, you fit the bill when she saw you.
all right, Angel. I know you
Yeah.
had something you wanted to say. What you have to say, honey?
Okay, this is what I'm gonna say to both of y'all friends. Now, Kiki, you are one of my best friends. Ride or die, friend to the end. AD, you my friend too because you part of the family, right? I want
Yes,
both of
ma'am.
y'all to know I was offered money in my inbox for your phone number today, AD. Money in my phone box, in my inbox for money for
You
you.
know,
Because they said if they really friends, then I will pay. They offered to pay me $150 for your phone number.
That's all his phone number's
wow.
worth?
Propagate that big empire.
I'll put it like this. A friend of mine, his number is well worth more than $150. They gonna have to up the ante a little more if they trying to
I was
get in like that.
insulted. I'm
And
not
it's
the guy,
rude.
you know. Mm-mm.
It's rude.
Nah, but hey, let me ask you this, Kiki, and you
Sure.
too, Sporty. Check this out. Now, what do y'all think about the situation? I mean, and as a woman, you guys can tell me, like, have you ever had a male as your best friend? Was did that guy have qualities in him that you would have liked to have in your man? Or but what's always been a determining factor for you guys not to cross the line as well?
Go ahead, Sporty. I'll let you go first, and then I'll just say what I have to say.
Yes, I have two male best friends, and they absolutely have qualities in them that I require in any guy that I'm going to see seriously. Um, for one of them, the one thing that keeps us from crossing the line is that the way we communicate with each other and how we see how each other treats the opposite sex, and we go into details about everything that we just completely overshare with each other. And there are some things about him that he knows I will not accept that are game changers for him, and vice versa. So we already know we're better off as the best of friends, and it has worked, platonically for me and him for I say at least the last 19 years. It has not. We haven't even thought about it. It just is what it is.
But we're not gonna talk
Never,
about
never,
that. We're not gonna talk about that
never
other
once.
best friend.
Wait, well, let me
Huh?
ask this. So, never once in the relationship, from the time that you guys met, it's never been about no dating, no nothing else. It's just been about strictly friendship from the first time y'all met.
It comes from other people. They assume that he and I are a couple. They assume that he and I are, something's going on, but it doesn't. I'm gonna show you his picture. Time to
We
move it.
don't care what he looked like.
No, but I'm showing you the picture because of how it is. His mother has this picture of me and him on his mantelpiece. And
Oh, his mother has that?
His
yes,
mother. Okay, it's
yes,
something
he
right in the
even
cotton.
had a
It's something right in the.
exactly.
It's right.
But
Mm-mm.
nothing has
Okay,
ever happened between me
but
and him.
that's
Nothing.
probably because you told a line on that. That's probably because you told a line on that. I've had several male friends. I got a lot of male friends. I don't really have a lot of female friends, but I would say, the lion's share of the people that I do call friends are men. And I would absolutely agree that they have qualities that I would want in somebody that I was going to be in a relationship. Because the main things that I think about when I think about what kind of man I want in my life for long term. One, he would have to be a friend of mine. So we would have to have those things in common. I like to have somebody who's going to make me laugh. I like to be able to talk to somebody about anything and not be judged or feel judged based on the conversations that we have. So, um, he has to be somebody that all my people pretty much like, because I'm about my family and I'm about my crew. So if he can't get in that groove, it's going to be problematic. So, yeah, it's absolutely somebody that I would see those qualities in.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody, I'm sorry, Kiki, have you ever had, or you too, Anthony, have you guys ever had somebody issue like an ultimatum to your opposite sex friend, like it's either me or them?
You mean somebody I was dating?
Oh.
Yeah. Like
no, nobody's ever been foolish enough to do that.
Okay.
They gonna lose. That's the losing situation.
I've had that. I've had that several times because, like I said before, I got several homegirls that have been my friends for years, and so through the process of that, regardless of what the situation is, if you like been in my life since the 90s, whatever, and I meet this new woman that I may be interested in, that I may be dating, if she's not, I guess you would say, mature enough to understand the situation, number one, number two, trust in me and what I'm telling her, okay, no, this is my friend, that's all it is, then, I have had that situation before, and every time it's ever happened, my homegirls are still my homegirls. Them girls, I don't know where they at. The ones that was complaining about my friends. So
absolutely, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd look at you with a side eye. I'd be like, wait a minute, hold on. You chose that over your people? Like, did your people do something? Like, you know what I mean? It would have to be something that they did in order to get themselves put on the outs. You know what I'm saying? In order for, especially in my situation, if it was somebody I was dating and my significant other was like, yo, you can't be friends with AD. I'd be like, what? Okay, let's see how that works out. Is that your final answer? You want to phone a friend? Because it ain't going down like that. It's interesting. Let me ask this question. Have you found that the women, and for you, Sporty, the men that are your friends, kind of like fell into the friend zone? Meaning either when you met them, you were in a relationship of some sort, or you just weren't attracted to them, or whatever the case, that they just kind of like fall there? Or what do you think happened in that situation? I'll start with you, Sporty, quickly, and then we'll go to AD.
I think I was dating someone when it was Jason, and the other one, I think he was going through a divorce, and I was breaking up with someone. So that's how we wound up being in the friend zone with each other.
Okay.
Like, out of my friends that are my homegirls, typically none of them I've ever fooled with at all. Like, when I say just straight friends, we've been just straight friends. The situation, like a good friend of mine, Valerie, lives in Nashville. She used to, like, when I say took care of everything for me, from when my mother would come to town and I was in the hotel to when I was out of town, she would take care of my houses, my cars, things like that. And we were so tight that at one point in time, and I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit about what you asked, but we were so tight as friends that Val has an 11-year-old son now, and she still lives in Nashville. And I was just with some cats from Nashville about a month ago, and these boys told me that they thought that little boy was my son. Like, that's how tight we were, But in that situation with her, I met her at a party where two of her girlfriends was, like, interested in me. She had heard about me before she ever saw me. The night I met her, she walked up to me like she had known me for like 20 years and started chopping me up as soon as she saw me. She was like, you what I'm hearing about? They tripping over you? Like, boy, please. And, it was like, I didn't know, and from that moment, I didn't know who she was, but I just liked the whole attitude about it. So we just started going back and forth with it. And, I mean, from that day forward, we was just always cool. You know what I mean?
So what happened to her homegirls that was checking for you?
You know what? It was a situation where, like this. Like, I don't try to be messy. You know what I mean? So I understood what was going on. They was homegirls that they might have been the same, like, workers. There was something going on where they was real close. I just decided, like, it wasn't cool for me to talk to neither one of them.
You passed on both of them.
Yeah, I just left it alone.
Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you this. There was this hot topic on my Facebook page. And one of the things that was being said by some of the men was that the only reason that men and women are friends is that it's because the women have made it that way. And that was because men are pretty much waiting for the opportunity, at some point, if he finds her attractive. If he finds her remotely attractive at all, he's just waiting on the opportunity. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree? You're a man, so this came from men. I want to hear from you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I'm interested in you and I want to be with you, I'm not gonna play a game to try to get close to you to be your homeboy and then try to, squeeze my way in there some kind of way or anything else like that. Now, I will say women do typically have way more power in that situation because Sporty, KiKi, y'all know dudes that y'all ain't never gave an inch of a flirt to. Not even ever made him think you like him. You might have known him for 15 years. But I guarantee if you called him right now and was like, yo, what's up? Why don't you come over here and let's do something? I don't care what that dude is. He going to be like, oh, okay. Because, it's not a situation where a lot of times the man actually has the upper hand. You know what I mean? And the guys are always out chasing anyway. So I kind of see how, sometimes the woman may have the upper hand. I've been in this situation before, where I actually had a friend. We're still friends to this day, but at that time we were like best friends. Good friend of mine. I'm her kid's godfather now, everything else like that as well. She had been going through some things. We had been friends, like I said, and it was like a New Year's Eve party. I didn't want to take no
New Year's Eve parties.
Right, so check it out. I don't want to take nobody because I don't want nobody thinking like, oh, you popping off the year with me, da 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 da. So I asked my homegirl like, yo, you want to go to this party? Actually, Steve Harvey was hosting it, and it was like some other people there, like some singers and stuff like that. So she goes. It's a big party band. It's my family. My dad was there. Everything else like that. 12 o'clock came, yo. I go to hug my homegirl. She grabbed me by my face and tried to put her tongue in my mouth.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm sitting there. She kissing me, but I'm like, kind of like throw it off. I'm sitting there like, yo, I can't believe this. My dad saw it. He was like, did she just kiss you in the mouth? I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, you in trouble. So the whole thing with that night, y'all, was check this out. The party bus, she didn't want to drive because, of course, it was New Year's and we was going to be drinking. Mm-hmm. Took the party bus. She got dropped off at my house or something like that. So at the end of the night, my homegirl, who done stayed over at my house a million times and ain't never been nothing cracking, has to stay over that night. Now she done drank a little too much. She done got a little bit too tipsy. Next thing you know, she don't want to sleep in the guest room. She want to come in my room. It was just a number of things that was going on. And so, like, honestly, I had to just tell her, like, straight up, like, man, we've been friends for, like, 10, 15 years. Like, I'm not even trying to mess up our friendship or do nothing like that, you know what I'm saying, behind this right here. So,
but y'all were able to get past that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, at the end of the day, like we said, I believe women typically have the ball in their court all the time. But, there's a couple times where a guy may be in a situation or, put in that situation like I was actually in and can flip the script a little bit and take charge.
Yeah, them damn New Year's Eve parties are never any good.
Man.
I crossed the line with a friend at a New Year's Eve party. I did.
You did, see?
I did.
Okay, now you're telling it.
Let me write this down.
Well, see what had happened was I didn't even drink. But I didn't even drink, so it wasn't the alcohol. That's the beautiful thing about me. If I do something, I did it because I wanted to do it. I can't blame it on the alcohol because I'm allergic, right? So, anyway, with that being said, I'll put it like this. The reality of the situation was when we met, I first met him, I was like, to my homegirl, like, yo, that's you, dog. She was like, nah, that's my homeboy, right? I'm like, okay, cool. So, but after we got a chance to have some conversation and chop it up, he was really good people. So it was still that kind of challenge of being attractive, but still like, no, that's like my people. So when the opportunity presented itself, it was one of those situations like, it didn't seem unnatural. You know what I mean? It happened. We were able to move past it because I'm one of those people who can detach that whole physical thing from, you know, that emotional attachment thing. So, you know, because of that, you know, he ended up spazzing out later on down the line about it, but I didn't. I mean, but we recovered and we're friends now, but, you know, yeah.
It cracks me up. It cracks me up just to see, you know, how when you got a guy that's attractive and you got a woman that's attractive, and just like you say, everybody automatically thinks that because you're two attractive people that you got to be doing something. But attractive people already know how to deal with everything that's going on around them. It ain't like this the first time an attractive person tried to talk to them or anything else like that as well. You know, so I sit back, I try to tell my friends all the time, like, you got, as a man, you got to have a girl, a woman, somebody in your life. If you like, maybe your sister, if you got a sister, but you got to have somebody who could help you break down what's going on with a woman, especially with the emotional side of it. You know, a woman is going to help a man think better throughout the process of it, because why? Because she's thinking just like that woman is. You know. And so, I recommend to all my partners, I'd be like, yo, you got a homegirl that you, and my boys are the same way, y'all. Like, they don't believe it. They see some of my friends, my homegirls, they like, oh, man, come on. Like, nah, bro. You know, but what do you, I think it goes back to this, like when it says, and it's not just a man, it's just a person. People are only going to do what the options allow them to do.
Right, yeah. Absolutely. You know? But I think a lot of it is too is that we in this society, and I will put it like this, in this society we focus a whole lot on the physical. You know what I mean? We don't focus on nurturing, you know, long-term like friendships. We don't focus on those things. We want everything right here, right now, and everything is over-sexualized. So just because a person is attractive doesn't necessarily mean that you are attracted. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily mean and it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to, if you are attracted, means that you need to act on that attraction. And a lot of people get it twisted. You know, a lot of people get it twisted. I think, you know, for my homeboys, one of the best things I can say is that I speak estrogen and testosterone, right? So I understand, I can see it, you know, when my boys are talking, I absolutely get it. It's like, yeah, I know. However, you're dealing with somebody who thinks like this, you know, and, you know, it's easy to be a friend to a guy when sex is not what's on the front burner.
Well, you know, somebody told me today, KiKi, they were talking about our show, and they said one of the main reasons, and they were speaking specifically about you, myself, and Cousin Shan, that it's very rare that you have radio hosts or famous people that are attractive on screen and off. You know, they say most radio people are not that cute, but they said since we're attractive and we have male friends that are attractive, meaning we have the option. They said people think we are always dating or sleeping with our male friends because we always attract good-looking men. And my question then became, you know, what's good-looking to you might not necessarily be good-looking to somebody else, you know, so why is it?
And should I sleep with every good-looking dude that I come in contact with?
That's what I'm asking, because I'm like, you know, just because people look good and they have the option to or not to, doesn't mean we can't be friends, you know, because of how somebody looks. That's what's, you know, that's what I don't get.
Some things I value a little bit more.
To, they said they couldn't be friends with Anthony if they tried. And I'm like,
you know, that's funny.
He's not just some kind of sex symbol. I mean,
that is so funny.
That's just Anthony to me. He, you know, get the break here.
But Sporty, check this out. Check this out. That's what I put on my page. I was like, one of the questions that I posted was like, I put your picture up there, and it was the picture actually from Crave magazine. And I was like, yo, ladies, could you be friends with a guy that looks like this? And I got a bunch of inboxes like, fuck no, no way, absolutely not. Like, can we be friends after I, you know, have sex with him, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like,
you know, that's they'll be honest. They'll be honest with y'all. Like that. That's crazy. That
Get back in the camera, boy. Stop running away. We can't see
I'm saying, I'm saying it's crazy how like a woman on your page, she gonna come. Oh no, I ain't gonna be his friend. You know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. But then when she if you had 20 of them messages, I guarantee you like 15 of them chicks wouldn't be about nothing they talking about anyway when they get up in your face. You know what I'm saying? It's always that rah 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 da 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 da. But they ain't gonna do everything they talking about. Number one, you know what I'm saying? And number two, it's like one of those type of situations where like I've been intimidated before. You might think that you're gonna do X Y Z when you get in that situation, and then it actually happens, and you're sitting there like, oh.
Let's explore that a little more. Let's explore that a little more. And because you're the first man to ever come on this show, let it be written that February 25th, 2015, you were the first man to ever come on this show and honestly say and speak openly about being intimidated. They always come on here and act like they're not intimidated by a woman in any way, shape, or form, right? So can we explore that just for a minute? We're gonna go down the rabbit trail just a little bit more, just a little bit, just so we can touch on that for a little bit. When you say that there have been moments when you were intimidated, what were you intimidated about?
It's like for me, I don't think it's ever been an issue where I was so awestruck by the woman that it was just like like oh my God, like what am I going to do? Typically on the times that I felt like I may have been like a little bit intimidated, probably because I felt like I wasn't on my game that day, But typically, like I learned a long time ago, it don't matter what guy you are. If you're walking into a room and you tell yourself before you walk in that room that whatever it is that you're gonna walk in the room, you're gonna command the room, or everybody in the room wants you, and you believe that, you'll walk in that room just like that, chest out, everything else like that. So I think it's a lot of times that the intimidation factor. I don't know a man, and I hear this from women all the time. I don't know a man that is intimidated by a woman because of the money or the job that she has. But you hear women say that all the time. Saying, oh, these guys are intimidated by what I have and this, that, and the third. What woman wakes up in the morning intimidated by what a man has? They go on to try to find that man with that stuff. You know what I mean? So the situation, what ends up happening is when those women say that a lot of times, typically it's because they're single. From the things that I've seen in these situations, some of the women may be single because they feel like, in their career or whatever else, they're too assertive, and they don't know how to balance the two between being that assertive woman in the office and coming home and letting your hair down and being that, that every woman type shit.
Yeah. They don't know how to turn it off. They don't know how to turn it off. They spend so much time of their lives being boss, being a boss chick, that they don't know how to come. I get that from people all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm a beast. They call me Lil Hitler, right? When it comes to this shit here, they call me Lil Hitler. It's like, what? Where's this? Where's that? Nope, I don't want to hear your excuses, whatever, right? Do you have it? Do you have it? What happened to it, right? But when I'm in my intimate situations, I'm very like, it's on you. You the man. I will, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be in control all the damn time. I don't want to. There comes a time when you just want to be like, you know what? You got it. I'm a ride shotgun. And they don't know how to do that.
I really don't care what guy it is, too. I mean, at some point in time, I can use examples of the people that I've been around. I've been around, like, a lot of athletes, entertainers who, before they walk in the room, you know what I'm saying, they know that they're the guy or whatever else. But every man that I know has been intimidated to some degree on some level. First of all, let's just keep it real. A guy always has to, when that situation presents itself, you got to be ready to perform. It ain't like being a woman. You got to be ready to perform. Yeah. So, so like guys go through mental challenges with themselves, you know what I'm saying, like before the situation even happens. That literally is intimidation. They might not look at it like that, but that's all it boils down to. So
we get intimidated too, though. It is not even necessarily about your money or your status. Sometimes we're intimidated by the sheer fact that we know, okay, we've talked to you about this before, manergy, right? Which is man energy. That's the kind of energy that a man, a real man, right, will command when he comes in the room. You feel it, women feel it, men feel it. It's no homo. It's just it is what it is, right? Now you have that and you walk into a room, a woman might feel intimidated, like just like you mentioned. She might not feel like she's on her game that night. So it's like, yo, I'm really not, all these women in here feeling what I'm feeling. I know they feeling it. What about me would make me the pick? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times women, when it comes in, to bring it back full circle, a lot of times when it comes to friendships, male and female friendships, a lot of times women will take themselves out of the running because she doesn't feel like she would be the one that he would pick. So she'll settle herself right into the friend role just so, you know, she can either be in his presence and or she doesn't want to rock the boat. And she's kind of figuring it out. She doesn't feel like she's up to par. So sometimes that happens. And she may never do anything. She may never do anything or say anything. He might go the rest of his life being her best friend in the whole wide world and never know that she was interested in him in any other way other than a friend.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for women out there listening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, if you're in that situation, you gotta put your best foot forward and let that man know that, because we as men, we don't fall as easy as women do. But sometimes all we need to hear is the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That also make our guard go down as well. So, you know, there have been situations where I know for a fact that, like, women have felt a certain way about a guy, but just didn't communicate it. Then later on, they talk to that man and be like, well, if I would have said this, and the dude be like, well, if you would have said that, like, when you should have said it, it could have been about this, that, or the other. And I know it goes both ways. I know the shoe goes on the other foot for men too as well. We put ourselves in those situations. But I will say this, and Sporty talked about it when he first got on here. I think and I'm a man, and I'm saying this, and I hope it ain't, like, I ain't being chauvinistic to my own kind, but I typically think that most of the time, most men, if they're going to be your best friend, like, they being your best friend because you put them in that friend zone 9 times out of 10. I'm sure that between the two of y'all, most of the time when y'all meet a man, he's physically attracted to you, number one, off the top. So if you allow him to go further with it, and you show him some, like, you know, like some interest, I'm sure he'd be all over that, like, okay, let's go kick it. But then if you put them brakes on, you'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Let me just keep it. A dude that's cool enough to see what's going on, he just going, like you said, going to take that role like that young lady would do and say, okay, let me just go ahead and be her partner. But you come home with some drinks one night and acting like something.
Well, what happens if you don't drink?
You know, a lot of times, well, you know, on the man side of it, he has to wait for that opportunity. So with a woman, you know what I'm saying, she has a couple of drinks, her inhibitions just go away a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So that might be the doorway in for him, you know.
I don't really have any inhibitions, and every time I've tried, it didn't ring true. So anyway, for those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and today we are talking about, can men and women be just friends? And we are joined with my friend, Anthony Dorsett Jr., and of course our regular fallen angel, Miss Sporty Spunky Angel. And I know we said next month, you know, since we were talking about drinks, we're gonna go to the drink of the week next, Anthony. But next month we doing Man Crush March, right? And it seems like we're starting it a little early. Because I did put you as my man crush one Monday, right?
Thank you for that, man. You know what? I'm about to do some stuff this year. I'm gonna claim it now. You know what I'm saying? And I've told you about this. We talked about it privately, but it's gonna be some things where I'm actually trying to make that push to get back into, you know, radio and TV pretty much full time now. So I'm gonna be showing myself a whole lot more if I had to. to make whatever to make whatever happen.
We might have to make you come back for one of the Man Crush March shows, because we're doing Man's Guide to Power, Man's Guide to Romance, and Man's Guide to Life. So just basically a man's guide to being a man. And then we're doing our men's roundtable to anchor it all up. So I'll talk to you offline about it. But he ain't going nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. He gonna be here for the whole ride tonight. But before we can go any further, we have to do the drink of the week. Our producer does a drink of the week every single week. I don't know how she comes up with it. I don't know what she thinks about. And we're going to talk about drastic fit a little bit later, too, because you can't be popping muscles. You are my friend, but I'm still a woman. God dang it. That's like me standing up and turning around in the middle of this broadcast. Okay. What the hell? Okay?
There's actually nothing to talk about with drastic fit no more, and I'll tell you about that when we get into it.
Okay. Well, then maybe we won't talk about drastic fit.
No, I mean,
close my eyes. Lord have mercy, I can't see nothing.
Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and get the drink of the week, and then we can move on. Oh my goodness, there's so much to cover. I feel like I gotta see. We haven't talked so much. You've been so damn busy. I haven't had a chance to catch up with you. But ladies and gentlemen, where's my producer? Shan. She probably drinking the drink of the week. Shan,
you
go ahead and get? Can you get us the drink of the week, please? I know she did it. It's called Beer-ita. Can you hear? That's a whole lot of stuff nobody needs to drink at one time. She said triple sec, tequila,
it's just the flavor, yeah.
And beer.
Margaritas are actually my favorite drink. If it's a good margarita and it's done right, that's my favorite drink. So that's right up my alley right there. I know, yeah, that sounds like it would be good.
You have a fan, Chan. You have a fan, Chan. He's a fan of the tequila. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out that drink. Go to our WordPress site and check it out, or go to facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate. Get the ingredients, try it out, take pictures, take video, because I'm sure somebody going to be on tilt. Also, make sure you post your comments to facebook.com. Oh, that's my friend. Also, you know, that's what happened with women see babies. They get all gooey. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You can send us a tweet at PDA_Miss KiKi, and you can post our Facebook wall at facebook.com, or you can give us a call. I know there's a couple people in queue. They're waiting. The number's 347-237-5271, and I'll get you on the line as soon as my producer tells me it's okay to take your call. What a question I wanted to ask. Here's one of the things. How do you deal? Have you ever had a situation, and Sporty kind of touched on it before, have you ever had a situation where you were friends with a female or male, and your family and friends kept trying to push you into more?
Yeah, you know, my mom was doing that before I had my kid. My mom was trying to push me with a little bit of everybody, so she could have a grandbaby at one point in time. But now, you know, it was like my dad is actually, you know, he hasn't done it in a long time, but he's actually come home with phone numbers from girls that he saw somewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But my mom has done it too as well. But like in each of these situations when it's happened, it's nobody that you're ever attracted to, you yourself. You know what I mean? They look and they see something, but it's never been a situation where it actually manifests itself into anything.
But have they done it with a friend of yours, female friend of yours, tried to be like, oh, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, you know, like it was my mother, of course, was friends. My mother was friends with this girl that I've been friends with for years, and my mother and her mother were friends, of course, too, as well. So this was about, like, you know, say about 5-6 years ago. Neither one of us had any children at the time, so my mother and her mother got together and sat down and talked. No, like they talked this out amongst themselves, okay? asked me and no girl to come out and have some dinner one night. Okay, so we had dinner. Our parents sitting there, and they just run it down to us like, look, okay, y'all ain't got no kids. Y'all been knowing each other this long. Y'all should go ahead and do this so we can have these grandbabies. And like, no,
Wow.
dead serious, man. Dead serious. You know, so,
Your mama's a
but like I
pistol.
said, hey, she is. Oh, my goodness. Y'all have no idea, boy. You have
I just,
no.
you know, hey, it's a good thing, you know. I'll put it like this: a lot of women find attractive, whether it's friends or not, they find attractive when a man has a good relationship with his mother, because it says a lot about how he'll treat her and how he'll respect her. If he has no respect for his mother, he has no, you know, and they have a piss poor relationship, and he's not doing anything, or if they have a relationship that's kind of like unnatural in the sense that they are so codependent on one another, that will be a turnoff. But if it's a healthy relationship where you can say, hey, mom, you know, back up, and she respects your space as an adult, a lot of women will find that attractive, you know, and then they will, you know, come and be around you, whether it's on a friend level or on a more level.
Now, you know what?
Go ahead, Spur.
My dad was the one who used to do that. You know, he would always, you know, him being a, God rest his soul, him being the pastor and all, and, you know, I'm his only daughter. He would always try to fix me up with other preachers' children, you know, and I'm like, it's either somebody that was not attractive, that I didn't want to be bothered with, or somebody I had already hit and run with. You know, I wasn't, you know, and it was just, you know, he was like, well, you know, you should settle down. When I'm sitting here going, you don't know his story. You know, let me pick my own person. And I wound up, my ex-husband was actually from a connection from my daddy. And we are divorced. I did say ex-husband.
Let me ask this. Since we talked about the whole crossing the line thing, I think we may as well just go ahead and explore that a little bit more. Sporty, I know you'd have crossed the line with some of your friends. I'm putting your ass on blast tonight.
Dear God.
Yeah, you need to call on him and all of them. All the 12 disciples, call on all of them. Because you're going on a hot seat tonight. Now, you and I had a conversation about this young fella that you were friends with, that you knew when you first met him, you wanted more. But anyway, y'all went on ahead and played that we gonna be friends game, and you crossed the line. My question to you, what do you think the challenge is in crossing that line and going back? You know, because you can never go. It's like butterfly wings. Once you've touched them, it can never go back to being the same. How do you handle this situation? I'm gonna let you go next. I'm gonna let her go first, but go, because she's guilty, and I want the guilty to speak. Speak up. Yes, I'm putting your business in the street. That's what we do. We family, we friends. That's how we roll.
It never happened.
See, what had happened was, you Oliver North? You don't recall? You don't recall? You Bill Clinton? I did not have sexual relations with that man. Lie. Don't you come on here start lying. Don't make me pull the tapes from the production meeting.
The most I could, oh God.
I'm listening. We ain't got all night. We got other stuff to talk about.
I'll pick this particular one. Since it's happened more than once, I'll go to this other person. In particular, we were actually able to resume our friendship. We actually laughed about it, and we said, okay, now that we got that out, and our key sentences, we got that out of our system. Now that we got that out of our system, let's go on and continue to be the best friends that we are. And we, you know, since then we've moved on from that. I mean, he and I haven't done anything of that nature in, like maybe 11 years, you know. And before it happened, we were friends since we were like 16 years old. I crossed the line with him when I was 22 years old, and after that, I was done. We said no, we're not gonna do this. So, but to this,
y'all not gonna do this friend thing, or y'all not gonna do the sex thing?
We're not gonna do the sex thing. I mean, it was great and all, but we're not gonna, I have to pull one of co-producers' words and say he's definitely a breaking case of emergency glass, but I have not had to break the glass in 11 years.
See,
Go ahead.
I really didn't. What I wanted to ask Sporty earlier was, I always heard that preachers' kids was the worst kids. I've always heard that.
They say preachers and
no.
police officers.
Hey, let me tell you something. I used to sneak in this girl's window. Her daddy was a preacher. Her dad's room was right next to her. I used to sneak in this girl's window. Okay, but my next thing I wanted to ask, was Sporty, was this, and this for you too, KiKi. What if that situation comes up where, like, okay, so say you decide that you're gonna cross the line, right? But y'all been best friends for a long time. Whatever you did with the person, they disgusted you so much that you didn't even want to be their friend no more. Like,
you mean if it was bad, if the experience was bad?
Right, like you just like, man, I can't even be your friend no more. Like I just can't get past that. You know what I'm saying?
I would have to drop it out of my head like it just did not happen. I wouldn't know what to do at that point. That's a good question though. Luckily,
you said he was my best friend. Problem. You said he was my best friend, or he was just a friend?
Okay, so like this is somebody that y'all been friends for a number of years. So this is like one of your closest homeboys to you, and say all of a sudden something happened, and then it go down, and you just like so disgusted with the situation that you just can't even deal. Like you just like, you know what? Like nigga, like you really wasted our time this evening with this right here, So.
Well, here's the thing. If there ever comes a situation where me and my really good male friend ever crossed the line and it was horrible, I would need a moment. And the reason why I would need a moment is that I would need to decide in that moment what was more important to me. You know what I mean? Because I don't ever have to go back there again. You know what I mean? I don't ever have to have sex with you again. But that doesn't mean that I can't be your friend. You won't be a friend with benefits. You know what I mean? Your benefit package has run out. I mean, I need a moment to compose myself. I have a very difficult time if it's bad sex. I have a difficult time recovering from that. I really do. I'm not going to lie, whether you my friend or you somebody, that I was smash and grab. If it's bad, it's going to be a problem. I've told someone before, let me know when you're done. I've said that before. So
in the chat room, Chan says, well, at least you're good enough friends to say, dude, you're sexy.
That's possible too, but I wouldn't say it like that. I'd be like, yo, is this why we having all these conversations about your relationships going bad?
That's even worse.
Hey, Sporty, let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. So, Sporty, on your side of it, like none of the guys ever tried to proposition you again. Like even though you said, all right, cool, we got that out of the way. Like them dudes never came back, it was like, hey, you know what? Let's just let's just do it one more time, or they never propositioned you again for
it. Yes, I've had that happen.
Ooh, I just remember something, y'all. Oh my God.
Share. Sharing is caring.
Man, okay, so I lied. I just remembered that I lied.
True confession.
Okay, let's.
Oh man.
Be quiet. Forgive me, KiKi, for I have sinned. It's been about 55 minutes since I lied. Come on, give it.
So this is what actually happened to me one time. I had just moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and I was learning my way through the city, stuff like that. So I met a couple of dudes who was like riding bikes and doing different things in Nashville. So I was into bikes and stuff, riding motorcycles and stuff. So meet this one cat. Anyway, he just hella cool dude, you know what I'm saying? Just into everything. called me over his crib one day, like, yo, we having a barbecue over the crib. Why don't you come through? So I go over the crib. I meet his whole family. I meet his sister, right? All right. So dude's sister was, I mean, like one of the coolest chicks you ever met. She just been raised around motorcycles, cars, sports all life, so she know a little bit of everything. So she just hella cool. So we hit it off. She becomes like my tour guide through Nashville. All right, she's showing me all of Nashville, taking me here, doing this, everything else like that. Now, this is a bad situation, all right, because what happens is before my house was ready in Nashville, after training camp broke, it took like another month and a half for my house to get done. So I had to live in the Renaissance Hotel downtown Nashville. So I was on, if they put me on one of these top floors, the whole room wasn't nothing but windows and everything else like that. So I'm staying in this hotel for like a month. One night, me and old girl, we go out, we have a couple drinks. She take me back to the hotel. She go upstairs, and man, like guys know, like it's certain girls that just got. I can't. I'm trying to figure out how I can say this. This is an adult show, right? Yeah. Anyway, so
yeah, you can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, it's certain girls that got a coochie that they shouldn't have. Like, it don't belong on their body, or for whatever case you might want to say. Okay, so my homeboy's sister, she wasn't like a 10. She wasn't the baddest chick out there, nothing like that. But she had some style to her and everything else like that, so it brought her status up a little bit more. But then, like I said, she was hella cool. So we go out this night, we drinking, we kicking it. We go back to the hotel. She come upstairs. Feet, she got cute toes, and I'm in the toes and stuff like that. So toes was nice, and it was just one of them type of nice. And I went there. I went there.
Okay.
I went there. And before I went there, she kept telling me, like, nah, man, we shouldn't do this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just being hard-headed. I was on a mission. Boy, oh, boy, let me tell you something.
What happened?
That girl had some of the best.
She tried to warn you. Ooh,
she did. And she knew, like, I think she must have knew, because she was like, nah, Anthony, I don't think we should do this, you know. Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, nah, come on. It was like about 5 minutes into it. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, why did they give her this right here? Like this is like, and
what was they supposed to give it to her? That gives her more. That ups her status the more though.
Oh, let me tell you, a lot of people
we always say this. Cousin Chen and I say this all the time. We always say that the most unattractive dudes have the largest penises, and it's like they got to have something working for them. They got to have something working for them. But I can't get past all the other stuff to even find out what that is all about. But I'm just saying,
man. I'm trying to tell you. I even called my cousin the next day, like, cuz, let me tell you something. Like, I'm like, like I was thrown off for a couple of days. I was messed up. I'm like, that can't, like, nah, like, why she got that? Like, no, you know what I mean? So
how did it affect your friendship with her though? Like,
so like, it kind of messed things up, because even though I said, like, I told myself, like, I ain't gonna do that no more. Man, please. That thing was calling you, boy. You couldn't. It wasn't like you might say you didn't want to do it.
It was calling you.
Okay, Pookie. Okay, Pookie, it was calling you. That has happened. It has happened. It's okay. It's okay. You're not alone in that. It has happened to the best of us. Not me, but it has happened to the best of us.
I'll put it
lying.
Like this.
I'm lying. It has happened to me too.
This is how serious it was. I'm a pretty respectable person, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to your mom, your dad, and everything else like that, you know what I'm saying? I respect everything. I'm over the house. I went upstairs for something. She came upstairs for some reason. I have no idea. I'm in this girl's parents' house, her mom downstairs, everything. I'm trying to do it in the hallway, like, just like, come on, like, real quick. She was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't even know what's wrong with me no more.
Oh, my God.
Like, hey, listen to me. Hold on. I'm going to bring you in a little bit further. She had gold teeth in her mouth too.
Oh man, really?
She was
Ooh,
grilled
Anthony.
out. She was grilled out. Hey, she little hood chick, man. Little hood chick just.
Wow, Anthony. I just want to say for the record, while you were telling this story, I could hear my producer from another room yelling out loud, laughing. And then my on my Facebook, people are like, that thing was calling them. They like they're like literally into this hilarious part of the story. For those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. I'm your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and today we were supposed to be talking about can men and women be friends, be just friends. Apparently, we cannot.
Okay.
And if you want to call in, please feel free, 347-237-5271. You can post to our Facebook wall at facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate, or you can send us a tweet at PDA_Miss KiKi. I'm going to go to Sporty in just a few to see what's going on Facebook, Twitter, in the chat room. I'm getting text messages. People are like, oh, my God. I'm getting the gamut of things. Oh, my God, he's gorgeous. Oh, my God, he's gorgeous and he's cool. I'm getting y'all a mess. What else? I'm reading.
I want to apologize for lying to everybody for the first part of the show. But
you wanted to forget that. You needed to forget that. That was your subconscious telling you, do not go back to that place. Your subconscious really wanted to suppress that.
Yeah, y'all got me trying to figure. Like right now, I'm sitting over here like, where is this? I wonder where she at.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Save yourself. You free and clear. Don't go back. Don't go back.
Oh no. And you know what the thing about it was, like, she was cool people. It was never a situation where, like, it was one of them type of things where, like, that was all my fault. That was all on me.
Let me ask you this. We talked about, Sporty touched on it before. She talked about the dick in the jar, right? And break in case of emergency. And you asked us about it earlier. Are there any, have you found in your life that there would be any for you that you would be like, that one? You don't have to name no names. Please don't name no names. I don't want to. Don't do that. He thinking.
Look at him.
He was thinking hard too. He was like,
Well, because it's like, you know, I got some homegirls who are just my homegirls, but they like, it's things about them that I'm attracted to, whether it be their demeanor, whether it be the way they look, the way they built, whatever the case may be. I've actually I've never asked myself that question, that like in case of emergency. So I've never been there before. That's why, like, honestly, when you asked that, that's why I went there. Like if I was in that situation, where would I go? You know, I'm so out of the loop right now that, like, I don't have any phone numbers. As far as my son was born 6 months ago, I probably haven't approached a woman in over a year. Like, seriously. So, in case of emergency, I'm gonna have to break over my hand, because right now, I'm honestly, I'm in bad shape. You know what I'm saying? So,
which begs the next question. If you can't, we can come back to that. We can come back to that one. We gonna come back to it and see if you ever come up with a name. But I want you to think about this also. Hang on, Sporty. Hang on. We'll get it in just a second. Hang on. I can't see it. It's a glare. I can't see it. The question is, the next question to that is, have you ever been sympathy sex for a friend? Think about it. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Sporty, tell me what you was about to show me.
And I break your glass 40. And the other one is like, here's my number for him to start a new Rolodex from. You know.
Yes, so tell them to send you a picture with that too. Make sure they send you a picture with that.
No, we got the screen. She already got the picture. We screen hard. Let me tell you something. While you thinking about if you ever been sympathy dick for your friend, or you've been some sympathy PSs for a friend, let me say this. One of the things that I can say about some of my homeboys when they first got in the league, whether it was NBA or NFL, whenever we would hang out, I was always like security. I'm warden. I'm the gatekeeper. Because it's like, yo, no, there are women out here who specifically, that's their job all day. They get up in the morning to the time they go to bed at night is to try to pick off one. right? At least one, right? And I'm like, not on my watch, it ain't gonna happen. If you get caught up, you're gonna get caught up because I was not here. So for me, that's what my friend, they like, dang, you know, but later on, I had a friend that we were at Jerry's Deli in LA. And this girl had been checking him out. He was like, I ain't gonna say who it is, but anyway, she had been kind of giving him the vibe all night while we were in there. And I'm like, don't do it, dog. So we get outside, and we at valet, waiting for valet to bring the truck around, and she calls him over to the truck. But she calls him over to the truck, and she's in the passenger seat. There's a dude in the driver's seat and a chick in the back seat. And so they talking for a minute. I got one eye on valet and one eye on this situation over here. So I'm not a blocker. Well, sometimes I can be, but it's for your own good. Anyway. So I'm watching, you know, it's all for good reasons. So he comes back and he was like, all right, and tells the valet to give me the keys for me to drive. He was going to ride with them. I said, the hell you are. I was like, that shit can be on ice. She can meet you some other time. You're not leaving with people I don't know, especially if a dude is in the truck. You know, sometimes you got to put your guys up, your homeboys on game, because their little head takes over what the big head thinks. And it's like, yo, no, dog, you ain't finna get in the car with no strange dudes. And no strange dude and no two females. They about to roll you, dog. They about to roll you. You gonna be on the news.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
You gonna be on the news.
All right.
All right,
So,
Sporty, have you ever given sympathy ass to a friend?
Yep.
A male friend?
Yep.
What? Man, God. What, man? Boy, y'all get, ooh, what?
God! Say it. Say it.
What?
The killer part about it is that, like, y'all actually got enough control to do that type. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can't call no, like, okay, you asked me a question. When you asked me the question, had I ever given up some sympathy ass before? Like, as a dude, I don't even think it's, like, called sympathy ass. Sometimes you got to take one for the team. You know what I'm saying? So, it just happens. You know what I'm saying? I have been in that situation before. One of my homeboys to this day, he still owed me to this day because I took one for the team for him some years ago. Yeah, so sympathy. All right, so this might have been a sympathy piece right here. All right.
Come on, tell the truth. Tell the truth. This is family.
I'm gonna tell y'all the story. Dude I know was talking to this girl. He was talking to this girl. She was being faithful to him, but he was playing off of her, trying to do a whole bunch of other things. One night, I happen to see this chick. She going down the street. She walking down the street crying. I'm like, what is going on? Why are you out here crying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, such and such. He doing me like this and da 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 da. So I'm like, you need a ride or whatever. She like, yeah, I do. So try to give her a ride. I'm
thinking about.
Hold on. So she was like, here she go. She was like, you know, of course she wanted to know, you got anything to drink or anything at your place? I'm like, yeah, what's up? So, well, let's just go over your house real quick. Okay. Now, the dude she dating happens to be, man, like an acquaintance of mine. I ain't gonna say he's my friend. I know the boy. He know me. All right. So she comes over to the crib. She has a drink. Of course, she starts crying and like just telling me all this stuff. Like he's treating me like this and he's doing this and he's doing that and da 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 da. So I'm sitting there, I'm listening to it. I'm a typical dude. I'm like, all right, whatever. You ready to go? You know what I'm saying? So she like, nah, I'm not ready to go yet. I'm like, well, look, it's getting late. I gotta go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be ready to go. Her next question was, you gonna go to bed? Well, is that what you sleeping in? So I looked at her like kind of like how you just look, KiKi. Like that look like, well, no, I guess I'm not sleeping in this then. So you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Wow.
Hey, hold on. That was the worst piece I ever got in my life.
Wow. The entire life.
To this day, that was still the worst ever in my life.
So that was sympathy sex.
Oh, it was sympathy because at first, like, she was crying about, oh boy, yeah, like I fell into it, you know what I'm saying? But like it didn't. It was okay. You told somebody, let me know when you finish. How many dudes you know fake orgasms?
I don't know. That's never
Right.
happened to me.
Okay, so let me tell you.
How do you
It's
fake
real in the
that?
field over here.
Hey,
That's horrible.
Y'all can
That's
fake.
horrible.
oh, you gotta know how to control your PC muscles. You know, you know how to make.
I know how the girls fake.
We know how to control our PC muscles. Remember, I'm the one who gave the tutorial on how to ejaculate.
Right, so I'm telling you how. There's a book out, all right. Y'all ladies want to get up on something, and all the fellas out there listening as well. There's a book out called The Multi-Orgasmic Man. All right, that's the title of the book, Multi-Orgasmic Man. Guys, if you ain't got this book, you should look it up on the internet. Go get it, do whatever, because there are certain exercises that you need to be doing with your body to make sure everything is doing with the proper, what's supposed to be operating properly anyway. So I tell everybody go get that book. But in that book, you'll learn how to. It tells you different exercises to do with your PC muscles and stuff like that. So as for women are always able to tell when a man about to bust a nut because of the throbbing, the pulsating, and everything else that goes on. Well, if you know how to work your PC muscles, you could simulate. See, this how I got into the book was I was actually trying to figure out how to have multiple orgasms at one time like a woman. Like I'm sitting here like, okay, so a woman could bust a nut, then 2 seconds later bust another one, then like so I'm like, okay, so I need to figure this out. So in this book, it tries to teach you some techniques on how you can actually become a multi-orgasmic man.
Okay, my next question is, were you ever able to figure it out?
Okay, so let me tell you something else that I heard.
See how your friends do? See how your friends do?
So this gonna trip y'all out. So like, of course, I heard the stories about women being able to think about certain things and have orgasms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a chick could tell you, I could concentrate real hard and bust a nut. So I went through a thing where, like, honestly, I would be trying to sit there like y'all and be concentrating hard, just like real hard, just trying to think real hard and try to see, like, okay, let's just concentrate. You gotta go there, and nothing would. It would be like a sensation would come upon me, but like it never actually happened. It never actually happened. So, but I tell people, it's like, look, let me tell you something. When I got this book, I called my dad up. I said, man, why ain't you been telling me all this stuff I'm supposed to be doing with my thing? He was like, what you talking about? I'm like, you supposed to be doing this, doing that. He was like, where the hell you learn that at? I'm like, this book. He was like, man, give me one of them books. I ain't know. So, like, when I tell you, like, I just told my barber about this book, like, not too long ago. I'm like, everybody be trying to put people up on them Robert Greene books, the 48 Laws of this and the 48 Laws of Seduction. No, go get this book right here. Ladies, go get this book right here, too, because it tell you stuff to do to your dude, too, that you can blow his mind,
They can actually listen to the show when we do stuff when shows on sex. We give them plenty of tips. I just got a tweet from Sultry Songbird 7 who said, KiKi Richardson and Dorsett Jr. ain't no faking for a man if she nasty. I don't know.
She.
Well, I don't know what nasty is. I don't know if you. I don't know if she mean nasty as in dirty or nasty as in nasty, like she real with it. You know what I mean?
That's not being nasty though. That's not being nasty. If she being real with it, that's not being nasty.
I'm not. Yeah, you know how people like to put those labels and titles on it. I mean, I'm just saying, just for the sake of conversation, it would be. Let me read you some of the stuff that's coming in here too. And they're saying, laughing my ass off. No, you didn't just ask him about the sympathy sex. Laugh out loud took one for the team. They're like, child. Oh my God, no, it was not the worst. Let me get to. They're like shoot. The one about could you be friends with somebody who looks like you, and I had your picture up there. They're like, why not? Sex is about emotions and not tied to muscles. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Speaking of muscles, I know this is off the subject, and this is what I do to people. I embarrass them. I put them on the spot. But since you were talking about how you got to learn how to work your PC muscles, and you always trying to get people to work out because I know how you torture people training, would you mind showing? You got on your shirt, you got the muscles, so why don't you just go ahead and stand up and show the people that's watching what you've been working on.
Where am I showing?
You just put your shirt up, man. Let them see.
Put your shirt up.
Oh, you want? Okay, so yeah, this is how you get your ass right.
Oh, Jesus. I need a beverage.
I love my life.
So
I lift my glass to you, sir. Let me drink.
I just want to say for the record, I love my life. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody,
you know how you would just talk
listening,
about how you say women could just talk, they could think about something. It's a good thing I don't wear underwear.
Look, hey, KiKi, if y'all ever put it together, and like say you got something going on in Atlanta, put it together where you put like a group fitness class together, because you know I teach group fitness classes here as well, and I got a lot of women in my classes because I know how to hit the butts and the guts all the time for the girls. So if it's ever a situation where like you put something together, you got like a crowd of people out there, and it's, you know, it makes sense for me to come out there, I'll come out there and teach sessions. You know, and it could be something that we could do on the weekend where we could do like 2 sessions a day or something like that. You know what I mean? And I teach you so you can actually do a lot of stuff where you don't have to go to a gym. It's a lot of body weight stuff and things like that. And, you know, with most women, they want to have a flat stomach, perky titties, and a tight ass. You know what I mean? And I know how to do all that. I can help you get all that right.
I know. I'm going to show you what happens at 40 plus. Hold on. Okay. What part are we showing first?
I remember them eyes. Ooh. Oh, my bad.
Okay, these are the boobs. They mine. All me. Right? Flat stomach. All me. I don't know if y'all can fit all of that in the camera, but
look, I'm actually, this is how dumb I am. I'm over here moving my computer like it's gonna drop down and shit.
Hilarious.
See, I did that for you, friend. You did that for me. I did that for you. See how friendship works?
I'm not standing up for either one of you mother fathers, because now I got people talking about some Sporty. Can you bring him to the gym with you? Sporty, can we have a fitness class inside your house instead of the gym? Where is he?
It ain't gonna be that kind of fitness class. These whores.
Exactly. Let me just tell all of you people that are listening to the show that call yourself my friends, I will not allow y'all to molest him and treat him like that unless it's something that he wants and you pass the test.
Hold on.
Hey, check this
y'all
out.
got an F.
I was teaching class last week. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
I'm about to read some stuff that they said in the chat. They're like, can he do that again? Shit, I blinked. Right? And then we got another one. Wait, in Twitter. Let me go to Twitter because they're tripping on Twitter right now. They're bugging out right now on Twitter. Wait, hold on. Where'd it go? They're like, yes, take it off. Talk about you, not me. They don't want to see me. They chiming in for you. And then they're like, oh, I got a compliment. Oh, KiKi, you still look good. All right, thank you. That's what, you know, you got to do it right. You can't keep friends like this around you and you looking like hell on wheels. What the hell that look like?
Jeez.
Okay.
You got to keep it together.
KiKi.
Ladies, see, huh?
Let me see that again.
What you trying to see?
Oh,
I forgot what you did earlier. I need you to stand up again. I forgot.
Only if you stand up at the same time that she does.
Like they said in the movie, same time, man, same time.
Right, same time. Let me see both sets of abs at one time for the public. Ready? Get set.
Wait, we doing abs and ass? I don't want to put my abs up next to his.
No, I just said abs. Ready, set, go. Abs. Yes, Lord. KiKi got her booty up. Where your
That's all I
stomach,
got. I ain't showing my abs next to his abs. Okay. Oh, they screaming.
Lord.
They screaming. I can't. And I'm stupid. I'm sitting up here trying to touch the goddamn screen. I'm trying to taste. I'm like, wait,
You see my dumb butt. My head is like this in the camera, like, I see you.
All right, let's get back on track now. Let's get back on track. All right. Y'all got Anthony blushing. They said women know when. Oh, they were talking to you, Anthony. They was like, with your old girl who told you not to. No, I don't think this is a good idea. They said women know when they got that good. And then they said about you, they said, well, goddamn, that man is too sexy. Let's see. And our producer's screaming out loud.
That girl did. I learned, and I tell my boys that all the time too. Like, and I make sure I tell my homeboys, like, hey, don't fool with that girl. Like that chick that's like you kind of questioning. Because you might not feel like, oh man, maybe she just don't look just the way I want them to, or something like that. Hey, man, I remember this. I ain't spoke to this girl in probably I don't know how many years. I remember her name. Hey, she used to have I told her she had gold in her mouth. She used to have like the most ghetto hairstyles too. It'd be like a bunch of colors and shit in her hair. You know what I'm saying? Look, I met her. I was walking through this building. She was standing there on her cell phone, and I had my head down, and I seen her feet. When I seen her feet, I like worked my way up a little bit. Legs and ass was nice and everything. I'm like, okay. Then like I got on up, I was like, oh man, she alright. It didn't never think that first.
We do that a lot to y'all too.
I met her.
All right, Let's get back on topic. All right. Let's see here. Do you think it's inappropriate to kiss your female friends in the mouth? Like if y'all see each other, hey, how you doing? Give her a kiss on the mouth and then go ahead. Do you think that's inappropriate?
Yeah, man. I don't try to throw mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? And so like we might be cool like that, but I've never had a homegirl that I've ever. No, I'll give you a hug and everything else like that, but kissing, nah, I ain't never kissed none of my homegirls in the mouth or nothing like that.
Sporty?
No, we're not going to be.
Whatever, Sporty. Whatever.
He said, whatever, Sporty.
I'm not. I'm very particular about where my mouth gets placed. And I'm not just going to be putting them lip to lip. You know, we don't do that.
Okay.
You don't like to do mixed signals, and this is for you too as well, Sporty. What are some of the lines that you absolutely will not cross? So you're not going, greet your friend with a kiss. What are some other things that you will not do, or you think that is inappropriate that can cause your friendship to go someplace it shouldn't, whether it's sexual or it changes the nature of your friendship?
Well, if you my homegirl, I don't need to see you naked. That's one of the things. Like I don't need to be seeing you naked and everything else like that. I'm just not gonna go there on no nothing physical. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sleep with you. I'm not gonna kiss you. None of that kind of stuff. I'm gonna keep it right where it's supposed to be. I honestly believe that the value of finding a friend is so much more important than that physical aspect of it, because you just how many true friends do you actually say that you actually have, that you can say you actually have? You know what I mean? So there's, and you can't put a price on peace of mind. You know what I mean? And so I've always been the type of person that my logic is going to make me think too much anyway. So it just keeps me in the right place. I'm not going to try to sleep with you, and like I said, I don't want to see you naked. None of that kissing and stuff like that. Don't ask me to help you get dressed. I'll pick out your clothes for you. I don't have a problem doing that. But don't ask me to help you get dressed, and just a little different things that y'all do to flirt.
Help you get dressed? I'm 47 years old. I don't know how to dress myself.
Right. I got a question for Anthony.
That's a ploy. What else, Sporty, won't you do?
Well, he pretty much covered it about all of that. But my question is this: this one question. So let's just say we're on a trip somewhere, right? And we have to go. We're checking into our hotel, and there's only one hotel room, and we have to share this hotel room. Who gets the bed? Do we share the bed? What happens?
It's the three of us.
It's just you and me.
Just you and me.
I ain't
Hmm.
sleeping in the bed with you. I'm gonna let you know that now. I ain't sleeping in bed with you.
You know what? Like
Not gonna happen.
Me either, but I want to hear his answer.
I can't. I just. Me personally, I know my body. Like my body do stuff I don't want to do sometimes. You know. So, what's so funny about that?
We know what that means. We know what that
Yeah,
means. That
so
means
clear.
somebody sleeping on the couch and somebody sleeping on the bed.
Right.
It's like as a man, you can't have no titties and ass that close to you like that, and like and be half nah. Like in my sleep, my hands are gonna be moving around and doing everything else like that. So we got to keep our separation when it comes to that, definitely.
I've actually slept in the bed with. I've actually slept in the bed with male friends of mine. Nothing
Right.
happened.
Me too.
I
But
mean,
those are ones
I'll
that.
sleep in, if I don't want to do it with you, I'll sleep in the bed with you, and you know what I'm saying. Like if it ain't no way I'm attracted to you, or I'm just that turned off by you, like I can sleep in the bed next to you all day long. But like, nah, Kiki, I ain't sleeping in the bed with you. No.
I'm sleeping in the bed with you either. Don't be telling
Yeah,
your
nah.
so. I'm gonna leave you to
I mean,
face, son.
I mean,
Right. I'm like,
I'm
you
not,
made a face behind that and everything.
I'm not saying it like to because like I'm upset about it. I'm saying it like hell no, like what? Like man, please.
I'm gonna need for
Like
you to
you
fix
just
your
asking
face.
for it to go
See,
down.
see, I'm trying to keep it in context here. Like, okay, so that would be too much for me. I know me, so that would just be too much for me. I wouldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I wouldn't get no rest. I'd be restless. You know what I'm saying? It'd be one of those situations where you keep rolling over, breathing like, like then that would be a situation where that's how that a Sporty, that's how it happens right there. Hey, I can't sleep. Me either, man. Well.
You figured it out, huh? That's how I am, bro.
And then later on was now that we got that out of our system, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
He had an epiphany. He had an epiphany. That's how it happens, Sporty. That's how it happens.
I see.
If it's not the
I see where you
alcohol,
going.
it's the I can't sleep. Okay. We got a tweet that came in. It says, please ask Anthony what is sexy about a woman to him. What really gets him intrigued? I think he already answered that.
oh man, like I don't have like basically one set thing. There could be a number of things. A confident woman is very attractive to me though. And when I say confident, not confident in the place where she's arrogant with it or anything else like that, but just confident and like no insecurities. It's not about what everybody else is doing or what all the other women are doing in there. It's about what she doing. You know what I mean? Outside of that, physical attributes, of course, I'm a typical man. I like big butt, big titties. I mentioned I like cute feet already, hands and feet. Hair to me, I don't trip off of hair as long as it look good. I'm not big into weave or anything else like that, but it just depends on that person. I don't have a certain type. I just like what I like when I see it.
All right. I hope she heard that. All right. Let's see what else they ask. Um, um,
Mhm.
well, I got some more questions. No, I got some more questions. They said, what am I missing in the chat room or whatever?
She said, first question was, why no? If y'all are friends, what difference does it make? And
No,
then
I'm not sleeping. No, pause. I'm not sleeping in the bed with Anthony. Because then we'll be having a conversation about, well, how do you keep your friendship after something happens? Which is the next question we gonna have come up anyway. Why are you making the little vein that showed up in your forehead? What's going on?
Because you know, like I got a pretty good imagination, and so when when people be calling in, like just asking you that question again, like why wouldn't y'all? Like in my head, what starts to play is like some type of scenario. You know what I'm saying? I might like I got a good imagination, so you know I like stuff starts playing out like what might happen if that was to happen. You know, so my faces, the faces that I'm making, the faces that I'm making are not faces of like disgust or anything else like that. They the faces like, damn. It's it's more or less like
you
that.
You don't went to your happy place?
Oh, I've gone there. I've gone there.
Okay, well, we need to bring you back from your happy place because because this is how rumors get started. You see what I'm saying? Because see, people already said in the beginning of the show they not buying it. They already said they don't believe nothing ever happened between you and me. So we have to now they gonna really be thinking some other shit. But I will say, I am still a woman, and I mean, and we did talk about in the beginning of the show things that you find attractive in your friends, you also find attractive in potential mates, possibly, right? So if you put all of that shit together, and then you cannot put ingredients together to bake a cake and expect it not to be a fucking cake.
Right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Uh-oh. Our producer chimed in. Go ahead. No, that's not what we're saying. No, we're not saying that you have to.
Because they don't want to.
Because the she said because they don't want to. Now, the reason why you don't, here's the thing. You don't put yourself in a situation where you know you, and you know your boundaries, and you know what's what. If you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you going to have to, Lucy, you got some explaining to do, right? If you don't want to put yourself in that situation, you just steer clear of it. I know. No, there's some of my homeboys, like I said, I could sleep in the bed with, and I have slept in the bed with, and it's not a problem. There's some that it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Would Anthony be a break in case of glass? I mean, break in case of emergency.
I'm not the emergency. I'm not the emergency guy. I'm just that guy you do just to do. It ain't about emergencies. I wouldn't.
But it might be an emergency for us girls, is what we're saying.
It might be an emergency for me.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You might be her emergency. Yeah. It might be a damn.
I'll break the glass on me. If I was a girl, I'll break the glass on me.
Well, you know what? It ain't too many times in this world or on this show in almost 6 years that I would have to decline to answer.
I'm listening.
I just said it. I declined to answer.
That means she would break you in case of glass. That's what that means.
Nah, y'all not finna put my friendship in a trick bag because y'all trying to be nosy. What you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do. I'm talking about Sporty. Look at her face.
Oh yeah.
Look at that face. That's what I'm talking about.
You know that little red hammer that you hit on the fire alarm break in case of emergency? She got a red hammer and it's got the initials AD on it. One. And I'm just gonna pick up my glass on there. Look, he in his happy place. Look at him.
Y'all starting shit. Let's start the shit. Let's move on.
Cause he ain't denying nothing.
He ain't said shit.
I'm just sitting over here just being honest. I've already said, it's only so far you can actually let that thing go before something's going to happen. And see, so let me put this out there for everybody in case y'all are like ever wondering, you know what I'm saying? So I met KiKi like several years ago. I think it was in Houston when we first met, actually. And just so y'all don't get, and I got the picture. I still got the picture. that you had short hair at that time and everything else like that. But anyway, y'all, to bring you guys into it, I know people probably saying like, well, are you attracted to her? The first time I met her, I was attracted to her. Like we had a moment. I think I think we might have had a moment. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I don't know. But it seemed like we did. And so it's never been a situation. Whereas I don't want people out there to think that like that is never been some. I guess you would say. I can't call it tension. We've never had sexual tension between us, but there's I think there's been a mutual attraction at some point in time between the two of us, and we've actually been able to keep it in the place that we are now. You know what I mean? Now, a thing that I'm sure that helps that a lot is that we don't see each other quite a bit in person. So now to deal with this situation on like a daily basis. Like, have you ever been in a situation, you too, Sporty, where like say there is a guy and you are a little closer to being friends than anything else, but it's some tension there that literally goes on and on almost every time you see him, as well as the friendship is.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sporty.
I have one of those. Yes, I do have one of those.
So every time you see this dude, even though y'all cool, there's something inside of you that wants to, what is it? Explain it to me so I understand. Is it just the simple fact that you're attracted to him, or do you want to go somewhere else besides that?
Wait a minute. Before you answer that, pull your mic back, AD, because you're getting some distortion. Okay. All right, go ahead, Sporty.
Well, with the particular person I'm thinking of right now, he is, I think it's maybe because we're around each other so much and we do a lot together all the time. We he just kind of fits into every seeming different part of my world. So, and there's the big elephant in the room, but we just, I don't know. I don't know.
So, Sporty, that's your final answer.
Start that shit. Ooh, I almost called KiKi.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Somebody just asked me. They said they heard Joe's side of the story because my phone. They talking about they heard Joe's side of the story. They want to hear my side of the story.
Yeah, do tell.
Is this turning into a he said, she said? Well, I mean, what the hell? It's like,
well, it's the whole story.
Listen, Linda, you never listen.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up and drink. You talk.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna do this quickly. Just y'all follow me quickly. This what had happened. What had happened was it was my birthday. I went down to Houston with my homegirls. My homegirl went walking around the club, and when she came back with him. And she said, "Happy birthday, KiKi." I said, "For me?" I said, "I love my friends. Thank you so very much." Yeah. And that's the guy's honest truth. That's what happened. And somebody wanted to take a picture of us, which is the picture you talking about. And I fondled you the entire time we were taking that picture. But I even said to you, "I'm sorry. I'm just going to fondle you a little bit." And so,
who was that? I remember that night good. I forget. You said it was a Super Bowl, right? That's why it was a Super Bowl weekend down in Houston. And that club was huge, and it was way out somewhere. Way out in the middle of nowhere.
It was cold as shit. And you said to her, "She better be worth it if you making me walk all the way to the other side of the club." And then when you got over there, you said, "Okay, I owe you a drink." So there it is. So there it is. Yeah. Now, anyway.
So they don't know. So people don't know about those eyes.
No.
What about the eyes? No, don't tell the eyes.
Everybody don't know about that.
Keep that a secret because they don't know.
And that's see, now look at that. Now you're going to feed into the fire some more. They're going to really think it's some other stuff that you know something that don't nobody else know.
No, we're just talking about her eyes, that's all.
Yeah. Oh. Nobody knows about that.
Hey, you remember what you said?
Oh shit. This is
Yeah,
why you
what
don't
she
bring your friends
say?
and family on the
What
show.
she
What I
say?
say?
What she say?
What did I say?
We ain't gonna. I ain't gonna put you on blast on the radio like that because they
She
don't
You
know
got
gonna
her
what
text
finger
it
on
to
radio.
some
me?
stuff.
Text. You can text it to me, and I'll tell you if it's safe to say. And while you're
Nah,
texting, it's cool. I don't
cool.
have no secrets among these people. These my fans. These my friends. They're not my fans. They my family. Um, let's see here. I'm gonna give you guys some quick statistics while Anthony is sending me a text message, and then we're gonna do the Ask PDA letter because they have a question for you today. AD. Some of the statistics it says that excuse me. What age group is more capable of having a platonic relationship? 14 to 18, 19 to 22, 23 to 30, 31 to 40, or 40 plus? Which age group do you think is more likely?
40 plus.
Um, for a man or for a woman?
It didn't specify gender.
No, I'm asking Sporty what you think. Sporty, you saying that's for 40 plus for a man or for a woman, or that's just for both of them?
I think 40 plus for both of them.
See now, like, um, yeah, nah. It seemed like you would say 40 because why? Because everybody gonna be a little more mature, gonna be slowed down a little bit. But I dated a girl who was a woman when I was younger, and she was actually in her 40s, and her sex drive was like real crazy. Uh, so on that side of it, I actually think like I would say between that 31. What was it? What was it, Kiki? That 31 to what?
Let's see here. 31 to 40.
Yeah. You think about it, when you're 40 years old, you ain't gonna be making that many more new friends and everything else like that. You pretty much, unless you're moving around. So I'm gonna say the 31 to 40, they'd probably be more interested in having platonic relationships.
All right. The answer is actually 40 plus with 31%, but very close. Very close. Second place is 31 to 40 at 30%. So you guys are on the right track. Let's see here. How many friendships with the opposite sex have caused problems in relationships? Um, that'll say strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree.
Um, I've had the same, honestly, y'all, I've had the same homegirls, uh, like I said, for a number of years. And the relationships that I probably had throughout that course of time, like I said, all those girls, I can't tell you what none of those girls are, but I know where all my homegirls are. Uh, so I think the question was, does it cause problems? Wasn't that it, Kiki?
Yeah, what's the percentage? I mean, what do you believe is going to be higher in the strongly agree, the agree, disagree, strongly disagree?
I believe that most women are going to disagree with your homegirls. I don't like I dated a girl and I tried to tell her everything I'm pretty transparent person. So if I tell you I ain't do it, that means I didn't do it. This woman argued me up and down about my homegirls because the way they was built, the way they looked, and everything else like that. Oh, you gotta be sleeping with them, or you had to have slept with them. Like, nah, man, it ain't never been about that, But a lot of times too, I know that I'm in a little bit of a different situation because of the lifestyle that I've lived. I've had more opportunities to go places, see a lot of different things and everything else like that. So when it comes to the propositions coming towards me, like say from a friend or from a new woman or whatever the case may be, it ain't like I got to hit everything that comes to me. So like I'm actually in a good place and can sit back and be, all right, yeah, that's just my homie right there, and there ain't nothing else going on to it.
I would choose the agree portion of that. I would say it happens because I mean I've had some of my male friends, their girlfriends tell them, give them ultimatums and tell him it's either Sporty or me, or have him try to choose between his family and his homegirls, and it's not okay. So I would tend to say it's more toward the agree on that one. That's what I think. because it seems to be, it just depends, I guess, on the maturity of the people and the maturity of your friends. That's why I went toward the older version of what people do, because you got young people, they get, they get funny acting, they get jealous quicker, even when
Yeah.
there's no reason to be, they create stuff, they get to snooping for stuff, and it just becomes a huge mess when they do things like that. So that's why I say the
Insecurities.
older, yeah, they're definitely insecure. I think as you get older and more mature, you're comfortable with yourself. That makes you comfortable with others. You're secure in your friendship. If you trust these people, then why would you give a shit about what somebody else has to say or think, about the friendships that you have? So I let them have their fun, make up their rumors and stories, and they little gossip columns. I mean, because let the world tell it. I'm having so many affairs with these great men in the world. We want to know how's it going. Because as far as we're concerned, we don't see what they see. So is he good? Is he well hung? What has happened in the world? Tell me something good. It's the song I'm thinking of. So who knows? But luckily on this show, the rumors to be about you and KiKi when they go off. All my friends just want to know if you're single, what you gonna do. I'm just like, leave that man alone. I told him to keep you and ask him yourself.
Yeah,
See
it's
what they
just
get behind that.
that's a situation where honestly, and me knowing my friends, if it's a situation with that woman where she can't accept my friends, then like we said earlier, that situation is not gonna last very long at all.
Right. Completely understand. And it's not about the friend. And see, what people are missing is it's not about that particular friend. It's about the situation of you trying to separate me from my family and not accept that this is what's going on in my life, and you think I'm supposed to just be clinging to you. You need to have your own life outside of whatever relationship you have,
Hmm.
that, and it's not just me. Don't you agree, Kiki?
I only heard part of that because for some reason our platform decided to kick me out of my own damn show. So you
Right.
know
I
how this.
noticed you were gone, and so that's why we were just chatting amongst ourselves.
I'm like, what the hell happened? I can't even be on my own damn show. All right, I'm
I
back.
know.
Can y'all hear me
We were,
okay?
yes, we can
Hmm.
hear you. We were talking
Okay.
about the level of maturity of people as they get older.
All right. Well, I know I look like I just ran a marathon, hair all over the place. But I'm
You
gonna do
still
the
fly,
ask.
girl.
I'm gonna do the Ask PDA letter right now because Anthony, the ladies want to know, really what your thoughts are on this. This lady actually wrote this one in for you specifically, so I want to see what you have to say about it. Okay?
Okay.
You like okay? All right, we're gonna do the Ask PDA letter right now.
At some point, you will be offended by something said on our show. But playing devil's advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of our hosts or the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversation so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly ourselves. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, today's Ask PDA letter is being brought to you by our producer's drink of the week, which is beer. What was it?
Beer-ita.
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 Oh, I see you really like that one. I think, Chad, I think he's going to be trying your drink. It is brought to you by Beer-ita, our producer's drink of the week. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, please go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate and check it out. All right, so here's the question. Dear PDA, I've been friends with a guy for almost 20 years. We started out as friends, went to friends with benefits, and now we're back to friends again. Through the years, we've seen each other through bad relationships, deaths in the family, and all the good times too. We flirt all the time with one another, and to be quite honest, he's the kind of guy that I really can see myself spending the long haul with. He's handsome, funny, straight. My family and friends love him. The problem is, I don't know how to go about seeing if he would be interested in taking things further. PDA fam, please have your guests tell me how I should go about approaching this, or if I should just let it be. Signed, I want more.
20 years of friendship, 20 years, and they've been with benefits, and now they're back without benefits. And my question would be, honestly, like, if this is your boy for 20 years, you pretty much know his situation in and out. So what's stopped the benefit thing? You know what I mean? And at this point in time right here, 20 years. I'm trying, like, I'm gonna put myself in this position. I got a friend for 20 years. She comes at me and says she wants more. I think that the guy is definitely interested, and I honestly believe that he may be receptive to it. No man at any point in time, and you gotta understand, I'm a dude I do things out of comfort sometimes. You know what I mean? I'd rather be comfortable than have to go to a gang of different things. But I've never been 20 years comfortable. Okay, 20 years comfortable. So in that, I honestly believe that that guy is in the same position that you're in. I think that one of y'all just need to put your best foot forward, like, for real. A man has been sleeping with you for almost 20 years. Think about that.
He hasn't. She said that they were friends only, then went to friends with benefits. Now they just back to being friends. Right,
but okay, so me assuming 20 years in there, he done been hitting for at least about 5 or 6 of them, you know. So, yeah, you know, that man is actually very comfortable in that situation with you. Now, what happens is, did he get too comfortable with having those benefits? You know what I mean? It's like, what's that saying they tell women all the time? Don't just give the man the milk, make him buy the cow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a derivative of that.
Right. Something like that. So basically, in this situation here, I think that honestly she should just go ahead and put it out there. Okay. They've been there already before. I think she gonna win.
You think she gonna win?
I think she'll win. 20 years.
Why do you? Well, you know what? This begs the question. I'm not gonna give my opinion on this week because she didn't ask for mine. She asked me to have you answer it. So my question in this situation is, why won't either one of them say anything? Why is he waiting on her? Or you know what I mean? Like,
it's an uncomfortable position to be in. Like, okay, so who cut off the benefits? Did she cut off the benefits? Or
she didn't say.
Right.
Move your mic.
Right.
She didn't say. Move your mic.
So
She didn't say.
We don't know. So in there, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely some discomfort in there somewhere. So
what if it was a mutually agreed upon, let's stop this, we need to just focus on being
friends? Like a Sporty thing when they was like, we can't do this no more. Like how Sporty be doing.
Yeah, like how Sporty be doing.
You know, like I just go back to this right here. I just go back to this. 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And especially if they still communicate on a regular basis and everything else like that, they're in a relationship and don't even know it.
Okay.
And they've had sex already. You know, they're in this relationship. They just got to call it what it is.
There it is. I want more. How much more can you ask for at this point? Anthony says y'all already in a relationship, and I'm not gonna dispute what he says. I just think somebody is afraid to say something, and that's where y'all are right now. So if you want to say something, say something.
Definitely.
What's the worst that can happen?
Remember I said this earlier, and this is for all women out there listening. Men, a lot of times we need to hear that before we act upon it anyway. It's just a thing for a man that I don't know if it's more or less a reassurance thing or anything else like that, but you know, it's just one of those type of things. Whereas our heart can melt a little bit faster if you show us that yours has as well, you know.
So she got to tell you.
I fell in love with a girl after she told me she loved me before.
Oh. You felt safe.
he's
It was
got
a safe
musty
space.
side.
It was a
Huh?
safe space. You felt safe. It was a safe
Oh,
space.
yeah, it was. You know, if she hadn't gone there, I probably would have never gone there. That's the truth.
But what happens in those situations, before we run over, but what happens in those situations when she bears her soul and was like, yo, and you like, yeah, no, I only see you as my friend. How do you come back from that?
Kiki, you just gotta put your best foot forward. You just gotta put your best foot forward. I mean, and you come back from it. Everybody's had to deal with a little rejection at some point in time, you know. But I stress this. I really do, and I tell this to women all the time. Put your best foot forward. You know, I had a homegirl tell me one time she don't hang with a lot of girls because if she want to act the fool behind a dude, it's just her business, and so she don't tell her girlfriends her business and talk with girls like that or anything else like that. And it's the same thing here. You know, if that's what you want to do, you know, who got to know about it? Your recovery only got to be between you and that dude. Now, if you go out there and tell her, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but that's the thing that she's afraid of losing, is that thing between her and dude. So if you got 20 years in and you put it out
took
there,
the sex away and he still was her friend.
well, maybe he took the sex away and she was still his friend.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
Man.
that's the unknown variable in this equation. We don't know who stopped the sex, but the fact of the matter is that, you know, if y'all manage to go from
Hey,
being
Mom.
friends to being friends with benefits to not being
Remember
to being
that
friends at all,
in
all you need,
California
we can hear
at
you.
Courtney's party?
We can hear you.
My mom just walking around. My
Oh,
mom just
I
walking
just took off my earrings and all my little garb. How you doing?
good.
I'm asking her. She remember. Anyway, this was at Courtney's party, and you had told her to turn around so you could look at her.
Yeah, that's when the people went over the hill almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
That's the
yeah,
word.
Kiki, we hey Sporty, not to change up nothing, but at this party that we talking about in LA, we was at this mansion in these hills, and this dude from a gang came up, got into it with the security, shot the dude at the gate. We're in the party. Everybody starts running, and they don't realize we're on this hill, and they jumping over this hill, landing like stories and feet down below them in California.
I had on white pants too. I was like, get down. I was like, I don't care. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was-
We're in this big
that was a crazy
mansion and
day.
had to walk past the dead body on the way out. That's crazy. But
You
anyway,
remember? So you remember all that? Yeah, that was
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
I remember
I had
that.
my mom there. Yo, I had to make my mom jump over that boy's blood when we was walking out of the party.
That was crazy.
Oh my
Woo.
goodness.
Crazy.
All right, so, okay, so with that being said, it's already midnight. So next week we start Man Crush March, and so we're gonna bring you back. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, baby
Look at that
Hawk.
beautiful face.
Hey, baby Hawk. He's so adorable. For y'all who can't see on the stream, it kept me off. We gotta go. Show's over.